Hello Synthetics, welcome to Fragrance Therapy. I'm your host Alim, and no, I'm not saying hello synthetics. Some people thought that in the comments. I'm saying hello scent addicts. I'll make sure to be more clear going forward. Anyway, these Middle Eastern fragrance houses do not sleep. I have 4 of the newest releases from Rasasi and Rayhan. I'll let you know my overall thoughts, then I'll let you know if I think any of them are worth actually picking up or you should pass on them. So with that all out of the way, let's jump in. So let's start with Rayhan's newest release, which is Jungle Vibe. So I know blue fragrances have been all the rage for the last decade, but I personally have always loved green fragrances just as much. Love me some Greenly DNA or even something like Polo Green. In my opinion, Rayhan Jungle Vibe is an excellent green fragrance release. And this is apparently a clone of Dries Van Noten's Santal Greenery. Honestly, I had never even heard of that fragrance before picking this up and seeing what this is inspired by. Who knows how close this gets? What I can speak to is this fragrance on its own. Because this fragrance is fresh, it's green, it's citrusy, and it's not quite like any other green scent profile that I've ever smelled, because it really does give me like a tropical jungle vibe. And there's also some creamy sweetness in this. I think it comes from the fig, and I think that fig is like amazingly layered with the typical green notes. So in the notes, you get bergamot and grapefruit with fig on top. In the mid is where those green notes really kick in. You get fig leaf, violet leaf, and oak moss. And in the base, you get sandalwood, white musk, and patchouli. And for a freshie, I'm getting good performance right out of the box. It's kind of what you would expect from Rayhan. I'm getting 7 hours of longevity. The first hour or so, you get some pretty strong projection. Typically, green fragrances lean heavily masculine. I believe the creamy, sweet nature of this makes it more unisex and easier for ladies to pull off. Look, I think this thing smells awesome, but I also know this is not for everyone. This is where I say know thyself. Does a fragrance that smells like a jungle full of citrus trees sound appealing to you? Do you dig other green fragrances that may remind you of something like fresh green leaves? If yes, then you will enjoy this. If not, or if you're on the fence, I'm not quite sure. And clone houses more of this, please. If you're gonna dupe something, find something that's lesser known, that smells amazing, and bring an affordable version to the people. And people might find this crazy, but I think designer and niche houses should embrace clones of their lesser known products. It's almost like free advertising for the originals, because sometimes these clones catch fire and folks are compelled to go and check out the OGs, ones that they would have never otherwise heard of. Anyway, I might have pissed some people off, but I think this is a great release. Only stay away if you're not a fan of super green fragrances. Otherwise, I would say this is definitely a pickup. So I'm not going to spend too much time on the next fragrance because I did cover it in another video of fragrances that really disappointed me. So spoiler to what you think I'm going to say about this one. But it is Rasasi's Viper. And this is a clone of Nasimoto's Black Afghano. And look, while we all complain that these brands are making dupes of the same stuff, at least Rasasi took a chance here. They swung for the fences and they made a scent that's really complex and truly out of the ordinary. And I can tell you there is some quality here. Unfortunately, in my opinion, this thing is unwearable. The opening smells like campfire ash and cannabis. It is so strong and pungent, it's hard to believe that somebody could actually wear this. It definitely does dry down to a more wearable scent, but that opening is just too big of a hill to climb for me. It's an interesting scent profile, one that I can admire for its audacity and strangeness, but not much else. Also, a surprisingly weak performer, at least as far as I've had it. 6.5 to 7 hours of longevity. Strong projection for the first couple of hours, but who wants to smell like that anyway? There might be a few super manly men out there that could enjoy this and might be able to pull it off. It's just not for me. For me, this is definitely a pass. Now the next one is the complete opposite of the first two I talked about, because these are unique scent profiles that not many people are duping. This is like the 4th or 5th major release inspired by Xerjoff's Naxos. And that's Rayhan's Italia. And let me tell you, some of the other releases have already been really, really good. So this one is behind the 8 ball. Here's the thing. I like to say, if you're late to the game, better bring something special. Make it noticeably closer to the OG. Make it a better performer, maybe something that goes into beast mode territory, or bring some interesting twist, something. Now, the truth is, I don't know if Rayhan accomplished any of those one things individually, but still, I think objectively, it's just a really great release that's just really late to the party. By now, if you follow my channel, I covered a bunch of the other clones of Naxos, If you've smelt the original, you know what this scent profile is all about. It's sweet, vanillic, spicy, along with being like citrusy, aromatic, and powdery. Of course, top notes include citruses and lavender. Gives it a nice, bright, fresh, and aromatic opening. Then you get honey, cinnamon, cashmere, and jasmine. It gives it that sweet and spicy warmth that the DNA is known for. And in the base, you get tobacco leaf, vanilla, tonka bean. It's really what makes this Naxos DNA really special. It's a perfectly wearable tobacco scent. It combines all of that into a sophisticated masculine scent profile. I know Naxos gets some hate nowadays. I personally still love it. Rayhan is known for monster performance, and right out of the box I'm getting about 7.5 hours. I just got it like a couple of days ago. I wouldn't be surprised after some maturing we're getting 8 to 9 hours of performance. Good projection also without being a room filler, pretty common for this scent profile. I did a Naxos clone face-off video a few weeks ago. In that video, I did say French Avenue's Fierté Luna is the best, but this might be right there with it, especially when you consider the price difference, because when you factor in price per ml, this one is definitely much cheaper. If you don't own any of the 100 other Naxos clones, then yes, this is still a good overall choice. But if you own Fierté Luna, Nusux Attique, or the Mason Nasrar, you do not need this. Because frankly, they're all marginally different and they're all really good. So chances are, if you're watching this video, you may already own one of these. If that's the case, I would say this is a pass. So finally, let's talk about Rasasi's newest release, Atlantis. And this is, again, Rasasi doing something totally different, something out of the box, but with much better results. This one feels like a true flanker of the OG Hawas. Take that original Hawas, tone down that bubblegum sweetness a bit, and add a bit of spices, woods, and mainly this saltwater aquatic accord. Definitely makes this one less mass appealing, but also at the same time more sophisticated and mature, and something totally different out of the box. In the opening, you get that familiar blast of citrus and apple, but you also get this cinnamon accord that gives it some slight warmth and depth. You still get that plum that the OG Hawas is known for, but it mixes it with that prominent saltwater note. In the dry down, it leans even further into the aquatic sea theme with like driftwood and ambergris. There's also this prominent vegetal quality in this, like seaweed or something. I can't put my finger on it. That's definitely going to be the most divisive accord. It might turn some people off, but for me, it works with the theme of the fragrance. Definitely comes off more masculine and less youthful than the OG. And also, it brings something truly unique and different. Great longevity. I'm talking about 8 hours on skin. Strong projection for the first hour and a half or two. Though it's not as nuclear as the early batches of the OG Hawas, but still a good performer. It's kind of funny. Jungle Vibe is to green fragrances as this is to like aquatic blue fragrances. Because they both go really hard in their lane. This one definitely smells like a jungle, and this one definitely smells like the ocean. Okay, so I have to be a little bit careful here. This is not mass appealing. This is not going to be for everyone. If something that even resembles Eau de Paris Megamar in the slightest turns you off, then this is a hard pass for you. But for me, or anybody who likes bold, salty, yet sweet fragrances, anyone who's looking for something truly different and original, 100% a pickup. But you have been warned. So there you have it, folks. My thoughts on new releases from Rayhan and Rasasi, and if I think they're worth picking up or passing on. Of course, if you're able to get your nose on any of these via decants or whatever, do that before you make a final decision. But I know that's not always possible, and sometimes you have to go by your gut and what you hear from other people. So hopefully my advice gave you clear direction as to what these fragrances bring to the table. Also, please hit that like and subscribe button. Trying to keep growing this channel. We just hit 4,000 subs in 4 months. That is amazing. Thank you for everybody that's already subscribed. And as always, stay tuned for more honest fragrance content. Until next time, I'm out.